All around the West, the people are recognizing that the problem is not just the Democrats, the liberals, though everywhere, other than one country, other than in Hungary, which is a little advanced in terms of the conservative populist uprising, in every other country in the West, people are realizing that the problem is not just the Liberal Party, which is the dominant political party throughout the whole civilization, and the problem is not just the conservative political party, which is the junior partner in the liberal project, but that maybe the problem is the whole system. Maybe this whole system that we call the uniparty here in America, or the liberal establishment, or whatever, the semblance of political opposition, the semblance of the representation of diverse voices, that in fact castigates a large part, if not the majority of the people as deplorable, irredeemable, not worth hearing. They should just go off and die somewhere. Let small town America die. Tell these people to learn to code. Tell them to shut up. They're insurrectionists. They need to be put in prison. They need to be banned on social media. The people are recognizing that system might be the problem, which is why a man that nobody had heard of until 3 days ago, Oliver Anthony, just went viral and now has the #1 song in America, top of the charts in the country. The song is called The Rich Men North of Richmond. This song is such a phenomenon. We have to play at least a good chunk of it on the show, because what's most interesting about this phenomenon is not the song. Everybody's saying, oh, this is the greatest song in recent memory, and this guy's a musical genius. And the story is more politically interesting than just that. Take it away.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bull pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control.
Who paused right? So the first thing that strikes me, this guy is a genuine musical talent. His voice is captivating. He reminds me of Levon Helm. Levon Helm, who was the drummer in the bands, Bold into Nazareth was feeling bad. He's got this way of wailing while he sings that sounds raw, it sounds authentic, it's a little dangerous. This is not a classically trained singer, obviously. He's really good, and his pitch is good, and he's playing a dobro guitar, and the whole thing he even looks a little bit like Levon Helm. He's got that red beard, and he's singing a song about how he's selling his soul. He feels like he's losing his soul, and he's working for basically no pay, and he's drinking his troubles away. And the other thing that's raw about this song is that I'm not knocking the guy at all. This is a wonderful story, and it's a good song. But the lyrics could be tuned up. He's rhyming away with away. He's rhyming rich men and Richmond, which is not. Those don't actually rhyme. The lyrics are a little bit confused here because is this a neo-Confederate anthem, as the liberals are calling it? Richmond is the capital of the Confederacy. So is that what he's talking about? Those damn Northerners coming in here and bringing their Reconstruction or something? He's wailing about this 200 years later, 150 years later. No, I don't think so. I think he's probably referring to Washington, D.C. as the rich men north of Richmond, and they want to have total control. So they want to have total control. But is the problem that he's not making his money? Is the problem that he is being forced to sell his soul or being encouraged to sell his soul? Is it a substance question, the substantive nature of the political order, or is it a procedural aspect, just that these men want total control, but we don't want them to have control? We're not saying how people should live, but we are saying that those guys north of Richmond shouldn't do it. It's a little bit confused. So I don't think that what is making this song go viral is necessarily the lyrical content of it. You'll see why in just a second. Keep going.
Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men, knows the rich men.
See, put a pause there. This is lyrically what's interesting to me too, is you hear some real populist complaints. I'm selling my soul. This is not the sort of thing that Mitt Romney would complain about. This is not the sort of thing John McCain would complain about. Yeah, this new liberal economy is making us sell our souls. No, and we're not making enough money. Okay, that's a populist complaint. And inflation is really bad. The dollar ain't worth shit. That's a populist complaint. And it's taxed to no end. That high taxes is not exactly a populist complaint. That's more of an establishment, Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney, John McCain kind of complaint. And the fact is, virtually all the taxes in America are paid by the rich anyway. So it is the rich men in Richmond. Well, maybe not them because they're corrupt government apparatchiks in Washington, D.C. But it is the wealthy generally who are paying virtually all of the taxes in America. So that's a little bit of a just standard GOP complaint, but the rest is populist, and the whole vibe of the song is this calling out, literally calling out from the woods in the middle of nowhere. Right now, go to hallow.com/Knowles. It is clear that the libs are giving up their morals and any common sense. There's no better time to build a daily habit of prayer and meditation. Building a habit of prayer can help you cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Focusing on what you are thankful for can increase positive emotions and improve overall well-being. Hallow is the #1 Christian prayer app in the United States. It's helped many maintain a daily prayer routine, and it can help you too. Download the app for free at hallow.com/Knowles. You can set prayer reminders and track your progress along the way. Not sure where to start? Check out Father Mike Schmitz's Bible in a Year, available on the Hallow app for brief daily readings and reflections, or pray alongside Mark Wahlberg, Jim Caviezel, and even some world-class athletes. With Hallow, you can customize a personal prayer plan that works for you. Listen wherever you are with downloadable offline sessions. Using Hallow to connect with others who share your beliefs and values can provide a sense of belonging, support, and foster a sense of community. Also, you have an obligation to your God to pray regularly. Don't forget, that helps you, but you have an obligation, okay? So make sure you go check it out right now. Hallow. Go to hallow.com/Knowles. Get an exclusive 3 months free. That's 3 months absolutely free at hallow.com/Knowles. Keep going.
I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare.
Put a pause there. So this is probably intentional to be a contradiction, or to maybe to seem like a paradox, but I don't think it is a paradox. I think it's just a contradiction. He's saying people in the street don't have any food, but the obese are milking welfare. People don't really go hungry in America. The knock on the American political order is that the poor are obese. And they're not just obese because they're milking welfare. You could complain about welfare. Again, that's not totally a populist complaint. That's a little bit more of the Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan kind of stuff. And people don't really starve. The problem is that the poor in America are obese because of the culture problems, because we've sold our political soul, because we don't have really community or political love anymore, because marriages have fallen apart, because we've got rampant drug abuse and addiction, because we've got people who are despondent, don't think they have a future, because their money's not worth anything and they can't get any good jobs. So it's all kind of jumbled up. It's a stew of lamenting about the political order. Keep going. We'll get a little bit more of the song.
Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is.
Put a pause there. So this is where the song really sings. This is where the song really takes off. When he's saying, when you're 5'2" and you're 300 pounds, then welfare shouldn't be paying for your box of fudge rounds. And it's so unfair because you got ordinary men who are being responsible, who are trying to take care of themselves, and they're putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because they're dying deaths of despair. And it's a damn shame because no one's looking out for people like me and people like you, backbone of America. No one's looking out for us, and it's a damn shame, and I wish it weren't this way, but it is. And that's where it really sings, because it's not this happy-go-lucky BS beltway establishment, astroturfed conservative movement, which says, everything's really great. We've got iPhones and cheap Chinese products. We need to stop complaining and recognize what a special, wonderful political order this is. You say, no, there are really structural problems. And maybe we do have cheap crap from China, and maybe GDP has been ticking up, but life expectancy is going down. So clearly something's rotten here. That's a beautiful complaint. And he's saying, and it's a damn shame, and it shouldn't be this way, but it is. But it is. Very different from the bubblegum appeal to the Southern man movement conservative kind of music. This is not your average country song. Okay? Very different. The political analogy would be in 2016, you've got a bunch of GOP candidates, and they all have roughly the same kinds of complaints. Illegal immigration's out of control. They never complain about legal immigration, which is the lion's share of immigration. They say, this illegal immigration's out of control, and there's some economic problems, but look, we're still the greatest, most prosperous, most wonderful country on earth, and it's always just, we don't have any real problems, and everything here is great. But we just got to work around the edges a little bit. We got some problems to fix. And then Trump comes in, he goes, nah, man, this is all going to hell in a handbasket. This is completely screwed up. We are going to become one of those SHIT hole countries pretty soon if we keep it up. And we've got chaos and destruction in our streets, and I'm going to turn it around and make America great again. And what all the chattering consultant geniuses at the time said was, this is too dark. Oh, this is too dark and divisive. What was the title of Trump's campaign book? Every other campaign book is Standing Up for Standing. The courage to stand in freedom and liberty and happiness and freedom and courage and the future and the sunshine by Senator so-and-so running for some office or whatever. And then Trump's book was Crippled America. And this song is the anthem of Crippled America. This is not your usual, we're going to put a boot up your derriere because this is America and we bleed red, white, and blue all day. I mean, there's a place for those songs. This isn't those songs. This isn't even a country song. This is a folk song. And for the people who are criticizing this guy and saying, well, he just shouldn't be political, he is coming out of a very long line of American folk music. He shouldn't be political. You know, we should just get back to the old days of folk music, like Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger and Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen, for that matter, and I don't know, Joni Mitchell and all these people, Joan Baez. They're always political songs, and they're always fairly urgent contemporary political songs. The reason that this is so fascinating that he took off is he's the first one of them to be conservative. Woody Guthrie, communist. Pete Seeger, communist. Bob Dylan was a big lib. He's oddly kind of conservative, and more so over the years, but he's considered a big lib. The people who really love Bob Dylan tend to be hippies. Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, Joan Baez, Arlo Guthrie, all the popular folk singers in America. Actually, Arlo Guthrie got a little bit conservative too, though he kind of went back to being a liberal. They're all big libs. And the fact that you've now got a guy playing, this could be a Woody Guthrie song, but he's a conservative. What that tells you is, truly, for the first time in my life, conservatism is the popular counterculture. Liberalism is not only the political establishment, as it has been for a long time, but now everybody knows it. This is it. The Woody Guthries of today are that guy. And that means that the political playbook for conservatives has got to change. And finally, we can stop telling ourselves these fairy tales that we have for 50 years Oh, we're the real cool kids. We finally are the real cool kids. The evidence is this kind of a song, the fact that when conservative movies do squeak through, they do extremely well. The fact that when conservative politicians do squeak through, they tend to do extremely well, and they pose such a threat to the liberal political order that the liberal political order starts changing all of the election rules right before the elections, starts rigging the elections, and starts trying to throw the candidates into prison. Not just here in America, though they're obviously doing that, but around the entire West. That is an insurgent culture that shows that the people, after a long enough time, have finally woken up. Boy, what a great clip. Now make sure that you ring that bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. See you next time.